Hey guys, and welcome back to the Peteytown Piranhas College Football 26 Team Builder Dynasty. In this episode, we're going to be finishing out the rest of our regular season. To finish out the regular season, we're going to be hosting Sam Houston, and then an out-of-conference game against Fresno State, and then we're going to end our season with 2 road games against UTEP and Liberty. We're going to go into our game against Sam Houston with a bit of a discrepancy with their 58 overall to our 72. So let's see if we can take care of business at home. Sam Houston's going to start with a pass, and they're going to hit their guy quickly for a 9-yard gain. Second and inches, they're going to get it out quickly, and they're going to juke their way to a first down. Sam Houston's got time to throw, and they're going to get it out, but it's an interception! What an interception by Pete Marks. He was stuck to their receiver like glue there, and he just picks it off right in front of their receiver, and they're going to give our offense some great field position on their side of the 50. After that Pete Marks interception, we're on a second down, and we're going to get it out quickly to Pedro O'Toole, who takes the slant and finds a crease to get us to the 22-yard line. After a couple of unsuccessful plays, we're on 3rd down and 12 from their 24-yard line. Pete Manning comes out in an empty formation to pass, and they bust right through our offensive line to get the sack. Petey Boy's going to come out to attempt a 48-yard field goal. He's going to put it up, and it is no good. He missed it wide to the left. Sam Houston's going to split our defense with the run right up the middle to get it on our side of the 50. Run for Sam Houston's going to get them another first down. They're going to hit their guy after a rollout. He's going to break a few tackles and get it into our red zone at the 14-yard line. 3rd down and 9 for Sam Houston. They're going to try a floater, but we got double coverage over there, and we're going to knock it down. We're going to come out to attempt a about 31-yard field goal here. They're going to put it up, and it is no good. So both teams have a missed field goal in the early going, both missing wide left, and we're going to take back over on our 20-yard line. So our offense can't do much, and we're going to give it right back to Sam Houston, and they're going to start their drive with an RPO slant. Sam Houston's going to find their guy in the flat, and he's going to toast our defense for a 17-yard gain. Another pass attempt for Sam Houston, and this time we're going to crunch him down with 3 guys getting in there to bring him down for the sack. And we're going to get a loss of 8 on that one. Sam Houston comes out in an empty formation, and it's not going to work for them as Pete Mesquite and Anthony Kaufman combine for another sack. So back-to-back sacks by the Piranhas put them on a 3rd down and 24. Sam Houston's got a long way to go if they want to try to do something with this drive. And we're going to get in there, but he manages to squeeze through this time, and he makes a big completion, but not enough for the first down. Trying to see if we can break through on offense here, but we got a 3rd down and 8 to deal with from our 17-yard line. We're going to send our guy in motion. Pete Manning's going to hit a wide-open Juju Johnson over the middle of the field, and we're going to get it to their 34 for a 17-yard gain. Pete Manning's going to fire quickly over to Ray Joseph, and he gets us 7 yards to push the ball forward. We're going to give this one off to Pete, who's got the lane, and he's going to run his way for an 8-yard gain. After a very defensive first quarter, we're on a 3rd down and 2, and we're going to hit Bianca Cronin quickly to move the sticks. Pete Manning's going to find, that's Pete Ackler, and Pete Ackler is going to break free from the defense, and he's going to walk his way into the end zone and salute the crowd. A big play there for the Peteytown Piranhas, very well designed by the offense and very well executed by the players on the field, and Pete Ackler just had to make the catch and show off his speed as nobody was there to contest him on that one. So after our offense showed some life with that touchdown drive, each team has been forced off the field. But this time Sam Houston's getting a nice 8-yard gain. They're going to run it right up the middle, and their block set up well to give their guys some space. Their quarterback's going to run it up the middle on a scramble. Our pressure was just about to get to him, but he made the right decision to bail out and scramble there. Hand off to their running back, and their block set up well again. They're going to spin away and get it all the way down to our 20-yard line on a big run. So it's taken Sam Houston a bit, but now they're showing some signs of life as well. They're going to hit a quick slant for a 9-yard gain. Play action for Sam Houston. Their quarterback's going to run right up the middle, and nobody's there to stop him. And we've had a bit of an issue in the past with quarterbacks using their legs on us. And this guy is no different, and he's going to walk in a touchdown for Sam Houston. Our offense could not respond after Sam Houston scored that touchdown, going 3 and out. So they're going to take over at the 47-yard line in great position. And they're going to be in even better position as their running back gets a big gain. A couple of runs net Sam Houston 5 yards on the first 2 downs. So they come out here on 3rd down and 5. They're looking, and Peter Latagoski is going to close in on him for the sack. And that's a big play for us because Sam Houston was looking to gain some momentum after some stops on our offense and scoring on their last drive, so Peter Latagoski closes that window with a very nice play. They're coming out here attempting a 57-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is wide right, so their field goal kicker has missed 2 kicks in this game. Admittedly, this one was a lot more difficult, so would have been hard for anybody to hit that one, but our defense manages to get off the field here. Pete Manning's going to launch it deep to Ray Joseph, and he hits him in stride, and he does a possession catch. Might have been able to get a few extra yards there, but just wanted to make sure he secured the big gain on a perfect pass from our quarterback. 3rd down and 5 from the 6-yard line, and Pete Manning's going to get sacked. So that big play we had just results in another field goal attempt for us. Petey Boy is going to come out, and he's going to attempt the 31-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. So the Peteytown Piranhas take advantage of that big play, and we manage to take the lead now with just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Sam Houston is really bottling up our offense in this one as they force another punt on us. And they're going to go drop back, and Peter Latagoski's in there again with Petey McGee. Peter Latagoski in on his 3rd sack of the game. 3rd down and 12 for the Bearcats. A lot of pressure on our defense in this one with our offense struggling. They're going to drop back to pass again, and it's going to be nothing doing. This time we're going to find Juju Johnson over the middle of the field, and we're going to get into their territory. Pete Manning's going to try the pop pass, and Bianca Croning hangs on to it with a guy all over him. The offense has had a nice flow on this drive, but now they're facing a 3rd down and 4. It's going to be a quick toss to Victor Snow, and he fights his way to the 15-yard line. It's going to be a little read option for Pete Manning, and he manages to squirm his way for a 9-yard gain. 3rd down and 1 from the 6-yard line. Pete Manning's going to fire it quickly over to Pete Ackler, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the game, and this one was a lot easier as he just went out there in the flat and nobody thought to cover him, and we're going to go up 17-7 on the Sam Houston Bearcats. Sam Houston's going to find a guy, and he delivers a strike on that one to give him a 1st down. Sam Houston is going to get sacked again as Petruchio DeLucchio and Petey McGee combine for the sack this time. Our defensive tackles providing some much-needed pass rush. It's 3rd down and 15 for our defense. They're going to go with a handoff, and we're all over it. Unfortunately, our offense had a 3 and out on their last drive. Sam Houston's going to drop back to pass, and our pass rush gets in there again for a fumble, but they pick it up and manage to get 4 yards out of it. Sam Houston tosses it out on their guy with an out route, and he breaks some tackles to get himself a 1st down. Draw play, their block set up well, and he spins his way to our 40-yard line. Another pass here for Sam Houston, and this time Peter Latagowski is going to bring him down. If you're ever within the 40-yard lines on either side, Peter Latagowski seems to come up with the sack, and he's just hunting their quarterback right now with his 4th sack of the game. And we're going to bring in pressure again, and Pete Mesquite just absolutely like a flash to the quarterback on that time. He had no time at all. 3rd down and 23. They need a big play here to keep themselves in it. And they're going to try a deep ball. Their guy is open, and he is out of bounds. So we get caught on a lucky break there as their quarterback couldn't keep the ball in bounds. Pete Manning's going to hit Ray Joseph on a solid RPO slant. Our running game has kind of struggled today, and it does again as we find ourselves on a 3rd down and 5. And Pete Manning is going to hit a wide open guy in the middle there for the 1st down. Couldn't really tell who it was. We're going to drop back. They're bringing the pressure, but Pete Manning fires a strike. Ray Joseph's got some space, and he jukes his way, and they finally bring him down at the 11-yard line. Great throw by our quarterback with their defender bearing down on him, and nice job, Ray Joseph. To run up the middle for Pete, and this time he's got some room to get into the end zone. Our running game has been kind of stuffed all game long, but Pete finally had some room, and he took advantage, and he's going to give us the 24-7 lead over Sam Houston. So Sam Houston really needs something here if they want to get back into this game, and it's not going to happen on this play as Petruchio DeLucchio comes up with our 10th sack of the game. Desperation mode now as they got to go for it on 4th down and 7. Empty backfield. They're going to toss it long, and there's nothing there for them. A lot of contact there, but no flag, and our offense will take over. Pete's going to really run his way into the end zone there, and he's going to put this one away as the hole opened wide for him, and we're going to go up 31-7, and that's going to be all she wrote for this one. So that proved to be the final score as we walk out of here with a 31-7 win over Sam Houston. Wasn't the easiest going for our offense, but definitely in that second half they started to click, and our defense was just lights out with the pass rush, and just a nice overall effort from the Piranhas today. In very exciting news after the game, we learned that Peter Latagowski has set the Conference USA single-season sacks record, so congratulations to our guy. Let's take a look at our stats against Sam Houston. It was pretty close as far as total yards go, with 381 to their 341. Our running game was really bottled up in this one with all those sacks, and just in general the running backs not really having a lot of room to run. We just managed 57 yards and 2 touchdowns, while they had 91 yards and a touchdown. Our passing game was on point in this one with 324 yards to their 250, and 3rd downs was really where this game was separated, with them only getting 1 for 10 and we were getting 10 for 17. So you don't like to see us on that many 3rd downs, but we're going to convert them at that rate. It is what it is, so we'll take the good conversion rate anytime. And then we had that early turnover with Pete Marks that we couldn't do anything with, but real story here was that we were able to keep a clean sheet on offense yet again. And Pete Manning had 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he was sacked 5 times, so those sack problems tend to really keep us down on offense, but when we're able to keep our quarterback clean is when we're really able to shine. A bit of an ineffective running game, as I mentioned, with 21 carries, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Pete, so not exactly efficient running the ball, but he was able to get into the end zone a couple of times, so that's pretty good. Receiving, Ray Joseph led the way with 7 catches for 113 yards, while Pete Ackler was very effective with 6 catches, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Juju Johnson contributed a nice 30 catches for 41 yards. Defensively, you had some high tackle totals for some guys, with Pete Mesquite getting 14, Peter Eris getting 12, and Anthony Kaufman getting 11. And Pete Mesquite had 2 tackles for a loss, while Anthony Kaufman had also 2 tackles for a loss. This defense was able to get to the quarterback 10 times today, led by Peter Latagoski's 4 sacks, and Petruchio DeLucchio getting himself 2.5 sacks, Pete Mesquite getting 1.5, and Petey McGee also getting 1.5 sacks, and Anthony Kaufman had half a sack along with Peter Jack. And I mentioned that interception early from Pete Marks that we couldn't do anything with, but anytime we can get the other team to turn the ball over, we will take it anytime. After missing his first attempt, Petey Boy hit his other attempt for 31 yards. So after advancing the week, we got some recruiting updates. We got this free safety Trent Stevens, who's in a nice lead there. We got the pipeline bonus, and we were also able to get his hard sell, so we're looking to close him in and get him on the team within the next few weeks. And then you got this defensive tackle DeAndre Hepburn, and nobody's really challenging us for him, and we got his hard sell as well, so also shouldn't be too long before he commits. In a tighter battle, we got Kai Cosson, a strong safety, and Florida State's really challenging us for him, and we got him on a visit this week, but Florida State has him on a visit the following week, so we're just kind of hoping at this point their visit doesn't go very well. We have an out-of-conference test with Fresno State now with their 74 overall, so it's the first time in a bit we've had a team come in with a better overall than us, so we've got to bring our A game if we want to keep our top 20 ranking. Our offense gets kicked off the field early with a 3-and-out, and Fresno State's going to hit a bubble screen for a 7-yard gain. 3rd down and 2 for the Bulldogs. We're going to go with the run, and we fill the gap as we get a crowd there to stop them. They're feeling like they can try to go for this, and they guessed wrong as we are going to get in there and get them off the field. 3rd down and 4 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning fires it quickly, and Pete Ackler gets it for the 1st down. And Pete's going to sneak his way through for a big gain. He breaks a tackle, but they bring him down before he can get any more. 3rd down and 8 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning's going to fire it to Pete Ackler, and they're going to bring him down before he can get to the 1st down marker. We're going to see another 4th down attempt in this game on back-to-back drives. Pete Manning's going to float it over, and he's got Ray Joseph, but he just couldn't get it into the end zone, but he's going to give us a new set of downs. On 2nd down and goal, we're going to fire it over to Pete Ackler, and he's been on a little bit of a touchdown tear lately. After having 2 touchdowns in the last game, he's going to get the first score in this one, and we're going to go up 7-0. Pass for Fresno State, and they hit their guy in stride, and he gets it to the 43-yard line. Get a little pressure, and that pressure is going to get home as Peter Latagoski gets home and takes him down and brings him to the 50-yard line. And that's an outstanding 20 sacks on the season for Peter Latagoski. What a season he's having. Thanks to Peter Latagoski, Fresno State's looking at 3rd down and 15. They're going to drop back, and he gets it away before we can get to him. And their guy makes a little diving attempt at the catch, and he brings it in to get it to the 22-yard line. Still can't believe that 3rd down and 15 conversion. That was such a great throw. We're going to do a little play action here. We're going to bring in the pressure, and Anthony Kaufman comes in to bring him down. This time it's a 3rd down and 17, so hopefully the defense doesn't give up another long 3rd down conversion. And we will not, as Peter Jack comes flying in for the sack, and that's our 3rd sack in the 1st quarter. And there's 20 career sacks for Peter Jack, so congratulations to him. So they're going to come out here for the long field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is no good. They're going to kick it wide to the left, and we've had some good fortune lately with kickers missing field goals for the other team. Pete Manning's going to toss it over the middle, and he's going to get to Victor Snow, who makes a nice grab. We're here on 4th down and 3, trying to keep the drive moving. Another 4th down attempt for the Piranhas, and this time we're going to convert it again, and it's Pedro O'Toole on the catch. On the nice RPO, Pete Ackler gets free, and he's going to get it all the way down to their 14-yard line. So Pete Ackler got us into the red zone, and now we're on a 3rd down and 4 from the 7-yard line. Pete Manning's going to look, and Pete Ackler's going to make the contested catch and get just enough for the 1st down. Pete Manning's going to toss it over quick, and it's going to be Pedro O'Toole who fights his way into the end zone, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 14-0 over the Fresno State Bulldogs. 3rd down and 4 for Fresno State. They're looking. Peter Latagowski's going to get in there again, and he's just been an absolute menace, and he should be up for some kind of awards this season because he has been absolutely tremendous for us. Offense with an opportunity here to put us up by 3 scores, and Pete's going to get us off to a good start on that front with an 8-yard gain. Run here for Juju Johnson, and the lane opens up for him. He gets a really nice block from Ray Joseph, and Juju Johnson is loose for the touchdown. Just beautifully executed play. Great block downfield by Ray Joseph, and we finally get to see Juju Johnson use that speed. Unbelievable run, and now the Peteytown Piranhas are up 21-0, showing Fresno State that we are not the team to mess with. Couple of consecutive 1st downs put them at their 42-yard line, but Peter Jack is going to put an end to some momentum there as he gets another sack for us, our 5th on the game, I believe. Fresno State has a guy wide open, and he manages to get it to the 38-yard line. Some pressure being applied, and Peter Jack is going to bring him down all by himself this time. And out of nowhere, he's got 3 sacks on this game, giving him 11 for the season. Fresno State's dropping back, and their quarterback finds a lane to run through, and he's got a lot of space as he gets it to 3rd and inches. Just couldn't quite get to the 1st down marker. 3rd down and inches from the 28-yard line. They're going to go with a handoff, and he sneaks his way through to get it to the 1st down. Holding penalty on Fresno State makes it a 2nd down and 20. They're going to drop back, fire it quickly to their receiver, and he gets it to 9 yards to the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 11. They're going to try a deep ball, and he catches it in the end zone. There is a flag. It's going to be on Peter Lightning. They're going to get him for defensive pass interference, but it's not going to matter as Fresno State's going to score. Fresno State's trying to chip away back at this lead. They got the late score at the end of the 1st half, and they're coming out in the 2nd half with the ball, but Peter Latagowski is going to bring him down again for our 7th sack, and just unbelievable, this pass rush between Peter Latagowski and Peter Jack. Just opposing quarterbacks just have absolutely no hope out there sometimes. 3rd down and 16. The last drive we had a few 3rd and longs that we couldn't get off the field with, so let's see if we can get off the field this time. They're going to try a screen and nothing doing. Offense with a chance to reclaim a 3-score lead, and we're going to start that off nicely with a nice run from Juju Johnson. Pete Manning's firing to Juju Johnson quickly for a nice gain for a 1st down. Bit of a heavy set on shotgun here, and Pete's going to get the handoff. He's going to go right up the middle, and he's going to get himself into the end zone for the touchdown, and we reclaim a 3-score lead with the 28-7 advantage now. 3rd down and 6 for the defense. We got trips to the right. They're going to fire it quickly. Their guy was on a good slant, and Pete Marks brings him down, but not before the 1st down. Fresno State's going to fire. They find their guy in the seam, and he breaks a tackle and gets it to the, looks like it's the 1. They call it a touchdown, but I don't think he really got in there. but we'll see if there's a challenge or anything like that coming up. He did not get in on there, so they are going to mark it at the 1 yard line. Everybody's coming out in their heavy personnel, and this time they are going to fight their way in, no doubt about it. And they're going to cut it to 28-14. Pete Ackler's going in a big motion here. And we are going to toss it out to Juju Johnson, and he manages to get another first down. We're going to drop back. They're bringing in some pressure, but we pick it up nicely, and Pedro O'Toole is there to get us a first down. RPO slam. Ray Joseph just left that guy in the dust. Excellent route running from him, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 5 yard line. First down and goal. We're going to hand it off to Pete, and he's got his second touchdown of the game, and he went in virtually untouched until we got into the end zone. And he salutes the crowd and says to Fresno State, "Thanks for coming, but we're going to take this win." Fresno State tries a deep ball, and Peter Lightning is there to get the interception. And we are going to take over on the 40-yard line, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for this game. So after that Peter Lightning interception, we tacked on 2 more field goals in the fourth quarter, and we, I don't want to say escaped, we dominated in a 41-14 win. And the Peteytown Piranhas are just really on a roll this season. Looking at the stats from our dominant win over Fresno State, we had 403 yards to their 305. Our running game really picked it up after being a little bottled up in our previous game. They had 184 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then we go down to passing yards. They actually outgained us there, 267 to 219. Then third down conversions, we were 4 of 10. They were 4 of 10 while we were 4 of 9. And then fourth down conversions, actually, we were 2 of 2 when they were 0 for 2. So nice job there. And that was the Peter Lightning interception late in the game. And Pete Manning also had an interception late in the game. Pete Manning was solid today with 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he did throw an interception in garbage time, so it didn't really end up mattering in the grand scheme of things, but also highlights that he has been taking care of the ball really well this season. Pete led the way running the ball with 19 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns, while Juju Johnson got a splash play to get 7 carries, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. Not big numbers receiving-wise. Pete Ackler led the way with 7 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown, while Ray Joseph had 3 catches for 39 yards. And then down here you had Pedro O'Toole contributing 4 catches, 33 yards, and 1 touchdown. For tackles, we had 3 guys with 9 tackles, with Anthony Kaufman, Peter Cottontail, and Peter Eris. Anthony Kaufman had 2 tackles for a loss, while Peter Cottontail had 1, and Anthony Kaufman even had half a sack on the game. Speaking of sacks, Peter Latagoski and Peter Jack each had 3 sacks each, while Pete Mesquite came flying in for a sack. Anthony Kaufman we mentioned, and then Pete Malark and Captain Peter each had half a sack. And we all saw that interception from Peter Lightning near the end of the game to really just put to bed the game at that point. And Petey Boy came in off camera hitting 2 field goals, and his long was 41. After Kai Cawson saw that blowout we had against Fresno State, it gave us a nice little boost for him in recruiting, but Florida State is still behind us with their visit coming up this week, so at this point we're kind of just hoping that they lose the game that they're on right now, but we'll have to see how that plays out. We're also entering the top 5 for left guard Manuel Guy, and we were able to find out his hard sell, so we'll see if that can help us get him. Now it's time to head over to UTEP to take on the Miners, and they're 58 overall, and they're 2-8 record, and we're going to put our 10-0 record on the line against them, but hopefully we can take care of business and walk out of there with a W.
Guys on the outside with speed, take the top off of defense.
UTEP's coming out firing here, and they get a big play on the first play of the game.
No doubt, so that starts with great hands.
They're going to hit a big RPO bubble pass, and they're streaking towards the end zone. Pete Marks is not going to be able to get him, and the UTEP Miners just need 2 plays to go all the way downfield and take an early 7-0 lead. Never mind about that 7-0 lead. Somehow we managed to block the field goal attempt, which I have never seen on this game before, but I will take it as Juju Johnson gets himself 5 yards. 3rd down and 3 for the Piranhas now. We're going to drop back. Pete Manning's going to fire, and he's going to hit Victor Snow, who comes back nicely to the ball to get the 1st down. Another bubble screen, this time to Ray Joseph, and he gets us to 1st down yardage. Empty spread out formation for the Piranhas here. Pete Manning's going to launch, and he's got Pete Dinklage, and he gets into the end zone. And Pete Dinklage just coming out of nowhere in a 5 wide receiver set, and he's going to put us up 7-6. Hopefully I don't speak too soon again and the extra point actually goes in this time. Defense comes out and gets a 3 and out on UTEP and hands it back to our offense, and Pete is spinning his way to 9-yard gain. RPO here to Pianka Croning. The blocks line up and Pianka manages to get a big gain to get it into their territory.
Looking to fire.
Pete Manning fires it to Pete Ackler on an absolute strike of a pass to get him just outside their red zone. 3rd down and 5 for the Piranhas, just inside their red zone. They're bringing heavy pressure, but we pick it up, and Victor Snow is there to make the grab and get it inside their 5-yard line. The clock winding down on the 1st quarter here. We're going to do a little RPO, and Pianka Croning is open, and Pianka's in the end zone once again after little time off from the end zone. He's going to get in there again just before the end of the 1st quarter. Each offense had a 3 and out drive, so UTEP is back out here deep in their territory, and we're going to get them down for a loss. 3rd down and 11. UTEP's on the verge of another 3 and out if they can't convert here, but they are going to convert as they hit their man in the seam, and he's streaking down the field, and Peter Eris finally brings him down in our territory. UTEP had some time, but Peter Jack gets in there for the sack, and he is all over their quarterback there. After the Peter Jack sack, UTEP gets a completion to make it 3rd down and 10. We're going to try a deep ball. Their guy's got a step on us, but Peter Lightning manages to knock it away. Offense is on the verge of another 3 and out. They're on 3rd down and 7. Pete Manning is going to fire over the middle of the field, and Pete Ackler's got a big gain out to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 1 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning points out some things, and he's going to fire it quickly to Ray Joseph, and he gets it down to their 35-yard line. Pete Manning fires one into a window, and Ray Joseph reaches for the 1st down. Dropping back, and we're going to hit Pianka Croning with speed there, and he gets hit hard at the 11-yard line. 3rd down and 5 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning drops back. He fires, but it's going to be dropped. We have to settle for the field goal with Petey Boy. He puts it up, and it bounces off the uprights, and we get nothing out of that drive. That's unfortunate. It's another 3 and out for our defense as the offense takes over now. Pete Manning's going to find Pianka Croning for a 6-yard catch. Empty formation. Pete Manning's got Ray Joseph on the sideline. And Pete Ackler's open this time. He's using his speed to get around the defender, and Pete Ackler's going to run all the way into the end zone. Another big play for Pete Ackler, and he salutes the UTEP crowd here, and we're going to go up 21-6. Pete Manning's going to hand it off to Pete, who manages to sneak his way for 9 yards. In a heavy I formation look against their heavy defensive look, we're going to send our guy in motion. Pete Manning's going to drop back to pass, and he's going to find Ray Joseph, who makes the contested catch. It's 3rd down and 8 for the Peteytown Piranhas. Pete Manning's out in the empty formation. And he's going to take off and run, and he's got plenty of room to get the first down and way, way more as he gets it all the way to their 27-yard line, 28-yard line.
Second down, they'll go to the air.
Pete Manning floats it to Pete Dinklage, who makes another catch in this game. Here on that 3rd and 2, Pete Manning's dropping back, firing quickly, and it's a contested catch for Pedro O'Toole, who sneaks his way into the end zone. Well, outside of some more sacks from our defense, there was no other really scoring highlights for the rest of this game, as we finish off UTEP with a 31-6 victory, and we remain undefeated. So we didn't really have to sweat this one too much, as we got the dominant win. We had 459 yards to their 222, a modest 95 yards rushing, and we had 364 yards through the air, so the passing game was really clicking, and we were 7 of 12 on 3rd down while they went 3 for 12, and there were no turnovers in this game. Pete Manning was absolutely brilliant in this game with 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and we also kept him clean with no sacks on the day. Running the ball, 13 carries and 49 yards for Pete. Pete Ackler was making all sorts of plays on the field today with 9 catches, 131 yards, and 1 touchdown, while Bianca Cronin got back to his playmaking self with 10 catches, 77 yards, and 1 touchdown. And of course you had Pete Dinklage coming in with 2 catches, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. On defense, Pete Marks led the way with 8 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. This time our ferocious pass rush got into the backfield 9 times. Peter Jack had 3.5 sacks, while Peter Latagoski had 2. Petruchio DeLucchio had 1.5. Spider-Man had a sack, and then Anthony Kaufman and Tavarius Watford each had a half a sack each. And Petey Boy with another 1-for-2 effort with an 18-yard field goal as his long. For recruiting, we got that free safety Trent Stevens to join the team. Congratulations to Peter Jack for winning Conference USA Defensive Player of the Week. Unfortunately, it looked like Florida State had a good visit week, so Kai Cawson is joining them. Let's take a look at the conference standings before we head into our matchup with Liberty. We're of course undefeated on the season and in conference, and Liberty is right below us at 8-3 with a 6-1 conference record. So whatever happened in this game, we will be playing for the conference championship, but this game is very important because we're right on the edge of the college football playoff, so we want to keep our winning ways going. And of course, we also had that same situation last season against Buffalo when we lost that game, so I don't want to have a repeat of that. As you can see, we have a very nice overall advantage over Liberty heading into this game, but with their record, anything can happen, so we've really got to bear down and finish the regular season strong. Both defenses start the game with a stop, so Liberty's coming out here on their second possession of the game, and they're splitting us up the middle with the running back. Their running back is going to take it, and Peter Latagoski takes him down, but not before the first down. Another run by their running back, and this time he has a lot of green grass in front of him. We're trying to chase him down, and Peter Eris chases him down finally, and he gets it all the way down to our 14-yard line, exposing our run defense. Liberty is really killing us in the running game now as they're in our red zone. They're going to go with another run, and this time we smother him. It'll be a draw this time, and we're in the backfield again to get a 2-yard loss thanks to Pete Millark. They're down in 14 for Liberty. They're going to go with play action and hit their guy, and we are going to clean that up with Pete Marks. So after some successful runs, thankfully the defense is going to hold them to a field goal attempt. Kick is up, and it's going through, and they're going to go up 3-0 on us. Again, our offense is stifled, so we had to punt it away. And Liberty is going to do a little motion, and Peter Latagoski's in the backfield to stop them before they can get going to end the first quarter. Quick motion on a jet touch pass, and we're going to get him in the backfield there with a nice stop. Third down and 13 for Liberty. Now we're going to force them to throw the ball after they've been running it so much. And their quarterback is going to zip it, but it's incomplete, and we're going to get off the field. Offense really needs to get something going now, and it's not going to happen on this play as Pete goes down for a 4-yard loss. Bounce motion with Pete. He's going to get the handoff and split him right up the middle, and that play has been working for us as it gets us a first down. We're out here in double stack, and Pete's going to find the lane he needs and get a nice gain to their 32. Pete's a little bit tired now, so we're going to do a pop pass to Bianca Croning, and we set that up nicely with a few runs, so they bid on the RPO there. Third down and 1. We're in empty with 5 wide receivers on the field. Pete Manning's going to throw it quickly, but they're going to knock it away from Bianca Croning on excellent coverage. Petey Boy's coming out for the short field goal now, battling some crowd noise, but he's going to miss the field goal wide to the left. And their crowd noise affected our guy there, and we're going to be still shut out in this game. Our defense responded to the missed field goal by getting Liberty off the field with a 3-and-out. We're going to start this drive with a good Juju Johnson run as he jukes his way to a 9-yard gain. We got a diamond formation to the left, but Pete Manning's going to take it, and he's going to get the first down. He's going to get hit pretty hard there, so a little dangerous for our quarterback. On the RPO, we're going to hit Victor Snow on a slant, and he reaches for the first down to give us a new set of downs. Petey Previch showing his aggressiveness on 4th down and 2. Pete Manning's looking. He's going to fire. He's going to find a wide open Ray Joseph, who jukes his way to the 3-yard line. Big play by the Peteytown Piranhas. Empty formation here close to the end zone. It's going to be a run with Pete Manning. He gets the blocks, and he's going to get himself into the end zone. Their defender catches him right before he got to the line, but Pete Manning is going to fight his way, and he's going to give us the lead over Liberty. Liberty is facing some pressure now, and Peter Jack is going to bring him down for the sack. That sack sets up a 3rd down and 8. They got a guy in motion. They're going to try a power read, and our guys are a little confused out there. Nobody sees the quarterback running, and he's going to get the first down. 3rd down and 10 for the Piranhas. They're dropping back. Their quarterback is going to run. He's been scrambling with success all game long, and Peter Cottontail finally brings him down. Just under a minute left in the first half. They're going to do some more motion, and they're going to run it right up the middle into the weakness of our defense, and they're going to get another first down. They do have the 1 timeout left, so the clock is ticking down. They're just probably going to settle for a field goal here. We're going to bring them down, and they do use that timeout. This sets up about a 38-yard kick for their kicker. He's going to put it up. And the kick is good, so we're still going to hold our lead going into the second half, but it is 7-6, so very tight one here in Liberty. Pete Manning fires it quickly, and Bianca Croning gets away from their defender, and Bianca Croning used a little quickness there to get it to the 37-yard line. Empty formation for the Piranhas. Pete Manning is going to get sacked. He had a guy quickly out there in the right, but didn't see him, and now Pete Manning is shaken up a little bit, so we're going to have Pedro Jarvis come in for hopefully not a long time. It's 3rd down and 10. Pedro Jarvis is out there facing pressure, and Pedro fires a nice strike to Victor Snow to get us the first down. Another 5-wide set for Pedro, and this time they're going to bring the blitz, and our backup has no chance on that one. After that play, Pete Manning comes back out there, thankfully. Just don't want to see our guy injured like that. Pete Ackler is going to go in motion. We're going to find Juju Johnson over the middle of the field for a 10-yard gain. 3rd down and 8 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning fires it, and he's got Pete Ackler in the seam. He dropped it in a bucket there. 4 yards to glory. Juju Johnson's going to take it up the middle, and he's going to score the touchdown, and we're going to go up 14-6 on Liberty. Juju Johnson coming in. Pete got a little banged up earlier in the game, so looks like it might be Juju Johnson's show for a little while. And he responds with a nice catch and a nice run into the end zone there. So our offense seems to have found a rhythm. Let's see if the defense can respond, and we are not responding very well as their running back is juking his way to their 49-yard line. Play action again for Liberty. They're going to dump it off, and he gets around Peter Ellis for the first down. Liberty is really responding well after giving up that touchdown to us. They're going to throw it, and they're going to make the catch again and get it to our 9-yard line. They come out with a double back formation. They're going to send one in motion. They're going to hit him out on a swing pass, and they get the block they need to spring him free, and he's going to run it right into the end zone. And Liberty is going to close the gap on us. Of course, they're going to go for 2 here. So we'll see if we can stop them or if they're going to tie up the game. We send in heavy pressure, and it makes it very easy for them to hit the slant, and they're going to tie the game at 14-14. It's a run here for Juju Johnson, and he finds the lane, and he jukes his way away, and now he's going to show his speed as he's got nothing but green grass in front of him, and Juju Johnson has come in to spell Pete and has done a marvelous job as he shows off his moves and his speed there on the touchdown, getting his 2nd touchdown of the game. After our touchdown drive, each offense had a 3-and-out. So Liberty's back here on the field from their 16-yard line, and they're trying to run it, but we are going to get them behind the line thanks to Peter Latigoski and friends. After that tackle for a loss, we're here on 3rd down and 13. We're going to try another running play, and we are going to stuff it once again. Fantastic stop by our defense, and our offense is set up in their territory. Juju Johnson is going to get around the edge again for 7 yards. Motion here from Ray Joseph, and we're going to step back and pass, and we're going to find Bianca Croning over the middle of the field to get it to the 27. Juju Johnson's going to do a big motion here, and Pete Manning is going to fire it over to him, and he's wide open, and Juju Johnson is going to take it all the way down to the 4-yard line. 1st down and goal now. The Piranhas are in prime position to make this a 2-possession game, and we are going to do just that as Victor Snow gets the reception, and he is going to get into the end zone, and we're going to make it 28-14 to put ourselves in a good position against Liberty with some cushion. Another passing play. They pick up the blitz well, but now we are getting free, and we're going to bring him down for the sack. That is a nice play by the defense. I believe that's Captain Peter who makes the sack. Desperate times call for desperate measures as they're out here on 4th down and 16, down 2 scores. They're going to look, they're going to fire it deep. Peter Lightning's got the coverage on him, and he's going to knock it away from him to get it a turnover on downs. 3rd down and 4 for the Piranhas. We're spread out wide. It's going to be a handoff to Juju Johnson. He's going to fight through some tackle attempts. Another tackle attempt, and he's going to get it down to the 1-yard line as Juju Johnson continues his heroic efforts. 1st down and goal. It's going to be a little off the mark for Pete Ackler. 2nd down and goal. Looks like we're going to try the same play, and this time it's going to be right on target to Pete Ackler, and we are going to go up 3 scores on Liberty, and we're going to look to put this one away to finish off our undefeated season. Liberty managed to get another touchdown near the end of the game, but they never really threatened again, and we're going to walk out of here with a 35-21 victory to secure our 12-0 regular season heading into the postseason. And I'm just very proud of the team. Liberty really battled us in that first half, but we really took care of business in that second half to pull away and secure our victory today. So, a very good way to end our regular season here against Liberty. We had 382 yards to their 352. The running games were the real story for both teams in this one, and we managed 166 yards and 3 touchdowns, while they had 187 yards where they really moved the ball, but they didn't punch the ball in with their running game. Passing-wise, we were 216 while they had 165. On 3rd down, we were 4 for 9 while they were 4 for 11. And each team kept it clean with no turnovers. Pete Manning was solid today with 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. and he was only sacked twice. And we can't forget Pedro Jarvis coming in relief for him for that big 12-yard completion that helped keep a drive moving. So very nice job by Pedro Jarvis, just stepping in when we needed him to. The big story of the game was definitely Juju Johnson stepping in for our guy Pete, and he had a big day with 16 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns, so really couldn't have done this without him today. Nothing big on the receiving side today. Ray Joseph had 4 catches for 53 yards. Bianca Croning had 5 for 49, and Victor Snow had 5 for 37 and a touchdown. And Pete Ackler had 3 catches for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. Flipping over to the defense, Anthony Kaufman and Pete Mesquite each had 11 tackles, while Anthony Kaufman had 2 tackles for a loss, and Pete Mesquite had 4 tackles for a loss, so really great from a slot cornerback to be making plays in the backfield. After a few weeks of getting a lot of sacks, our pass rush didn't get home as much, but they were also running the ball a lot, so that had something to do with it. But Peter Jack and Captain Peter each came up with a sack. Unfortunately, Petey Boy missed his only field goal attempt, so not the best look for our kicker today. And some recruiting news. We got defensive tackle DeAndre Hepburn to join our defensive line. And there it is. We'll be facing off against Liberty once again, and this time it'll be for the Conference USA Championship. So after that 4-game extravaganza, this episode is going to come to a close. In our next episode, we'll be playing for the Conference USA Championship, and then after that, we'll see what the postseason has in store. I'll see you guys in the next video.